There's often some sort of risk involved with traveling anywhere, that's a given. Still, while all places each have their own set of dangers, that shouldn't stop people from going on adventures. Nevertheless, bad things can and do happen, even to people who know what they're doing. Such was the case with Chris Kremers and Lis Sanfroon. The two young Dutch students ventured to Panama, eager to learn as much as they could while still having a great time. Still, nobody could explain what happened to them next. Chris Kremers and Lis Sanfroon, two Dutch students from the town of Amersfoort, Netherlands, had been planning their trip to Panama for 6 months. It was going to be a bit like a vacation, but they also wanted to do plenty of community service while there. The plan was to tour and hike around the country while spending time volunteering. They hoped to teach arts and crafts to local children and even learn Spanish. Unfortunately, things went horribly wrong on April 1, 2014. It all started innocently enough. The two young women took their host family's dog with them on a hike in the forests around Boquete, near Panama's Barú volcano. They had been backpacking through the jungle for the past 2 weeks, and they felt confident they'd be okay. They even had brunch with 2 Dutch men before they left for their hike, according to a Facebook post. Yet on the night of April 1st, their host family knew something was wrong when their dog returned, with Lis San and Chris nowhere in sight. The hosts waited until the morning to alert the authorities. That same morning, the two women missed a meeting with their tour guide. Searches were then promptly conducted aerially and on foot. By April 6, Lis San and Chris were still missing, and both of their families flew from the Netherlands to Panama along with detectives to help them conduct the search. 10 weeks after that, there still appeared to be no trace of the two women. That is, until a local woman turned in a blue backpack to the police, which she claimed to have found around the banks of the Serpent River. The backpack contained $83 in cash, 2 bras, 2 pairs of sunglasses, a water bottle, Lis San's passport, her camera, and both of their cell phones. Police immediately examined the cell phones. At least 10 days after Lis San and Chris's disappearance, it appeared that both phones had still been working. In that time, they'd been used to make 77 attempts to call the police of both Panama and the Netherlands. Both of the women's call logs helped the police form a timeline of events. The first calls to the Dutch emergency line, 112, were made just hours after their hike began. On only 1 out of all 77 calls, though, was a connection made, and even then, it broke 2 seconds later. Both phones had died by April 11th. Yet what was found later found on Lis San's camera was even more troubling. The first photos simply showed the women on a trail near the Continental Divide. The next set of photos showed more. On April 8th, between 1 and 4 a.m., photos were taken of their belongings spread out around rocks. Then, police noticed that in one photo, on the ground beside her belongings, the back of Chris's head was visible and blood appeared to be pouring from her temple. Police searched the part of the forest where the backpack was found and discovered a neatly folded pile of Chris's clothing on the edge of the river. 2 months after that, a pelvic bone was found in the area, along with a dismembered foot, still inside a boot. Chris' bones were so white that they looked like they may have been bleached. Years later, even after talking to locals, tour guides, and practically everyone else surrounding this mystery, police still didn't seem any closer to solving it. Hopefully, though, for the sake of everyone who cared about Chris and Lis San, more will be discovered soon. Please share this horrifying story with your friends.